We're live.
I'm so excited
Look
to be
who's
back.
back.
I'm back. Yeah, after a week of jury duty, he's a lot more exciting than that was very boring. There wasn't. Basically, it ended up at the end of the week. It got dismissed. There was nothing. They say if you're there that they know you're there, so then they settle the case out of court.
It makes sense.
Everybody, after that little stupid entry. But my name's Sherry.
I'm Brian.
And we're with Factory Direct Craft or factorydirect.com. And we're here. We've got so much exciting stuff today. A lot going on today. We had a paper mache container come in 2 days ago?
Monday.
Tuesday. Tuesday, I was going to say. Yeah, I know this week just has kind of rolled, right? Really, really fast. But, they say that's when you get older. But I think it's just because we're so busy that we're always busy doing so much stuff. But that's why, not that I'm getting older, even though that's true, too. But anyhow, yes, quite a few things. We've got couple, three, four more containers on the water that are coming in. So if you're waiting on a specific item, they are on their way. But you have to remember all those things are handmade.
Yeah.
And and they have to be dried and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So
and containers are only so big.
Right.
And a lot of times what happens is we have so much on order that they can't fit everything in the containers, so a lot of times they'll fit what they can based off of. And they are. It's crammed in there. There's no empty space. As somebody who personally unloaded that box by box.
Yes.
It was
you literally.
Had help. Yeah. I was the one getting all the boxes down and put on the conveyor.
Okay.
But they were crammed in.
Yeah, they do. They make sure because of course we have to pay for the container to come in, so we want to make sure we're getting all of our freight and stuff. But good morning to everybody from wherever you're from. If you are on replay, hey, hello to you too.
Yep.
But pop in, tell us where you're from, tell us what's going on. Like I said, I know we're working to the end of the school year here. We're getting so a lot of people are starting to think summer vacation. Memorial Day is it's crazy to think. Just a few weeks.
Mother's Day on Sunday.
Mother's Day Sunday. Oh, which we have a secret surprise on Mother's Day. Nikki is going to post a picture of my very first Mother's Day.
Oh, really?
Which is definitely a clue for how my 42 years of motherhood has gone. So wait for that on Sunday, and you guys will all get a laugh. And if you have a favorite Mother's Day picture, or you just want to post perhaps a memory or something of someone that's no longer with us, or a special story, and definitely, you don't know this, but motherhood is a definite adventure. But
I can't personally
and I'm
vouch
sure
for
there's
that,
a lot of people out there that will attest
watching my
to
wife's
that.
journey, yes.
Yes, it definitely is. It's a growing and learning experience with it, and it's been fun at every turn.
Especially once they get to be teenagers.
Oh yeah, well, my sister's theory on that was we will just chain them to a tree and let them out when they're about 22.
I'm about ready.
Now she did.
I got a 15-and-a-half-year-old that's not far off of being chained to a tree.
Yeah, not really.
Not really.
And she did not do that. But I thought it might not be a bad idea. But let us know that you can hear us.
Yep.
Give us a thumbs up if you hear us, you see us okay, because we've done this for several weeks now, but we still sometimes have slight issues.
Yeah, Neva is watching us from stormy South Carolina.
Oh, man, we've had some storms here, too. Crazy.
Yeah, we had to go to the basement the other night because the sirens were off.
It was. We had some. We're in kind of a tornado alley here. It kind of goes across from. Kind of goes up through here. So it's not uncommon for us to have tornadoes and storms. Not as many. Lately, we've had a lot lately. Yeah. It does seem like we've had a lot more than normal. So we aren't quite as bad as Kansas, where they've got all the underground shelters and those kind of things. But we definitely do get our fair share of storms coming through. But we just had a lot of rain too. Just crazy stuff. And then you know what was so funny? Last time I was with you a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Skyline Chili. So I come in yesterday morning, and I don't know, I couldn't stand it anymore. I went and we had Skyline Chili, and he goes, oh my, and Brian goes, well, my God, we did too.
We had the same,
So for any of you that
listened
to our Skyline chat, I guess it took us a couple weeks, but we did it. We did it, yeah.
Let's see, got some check-ins here. We have Algenia, checking in from the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Hi. I like Dallas. We're there a couple times a year. I really do enjoy Dallas.
She did say that crafting or creating is a passion.
Yep, she's creating is a passion of mine. Let's get the party started.
I think it's it gives you peace, but yet it gives you a satisfaction when you're completed. But there's a lot of stuff, and it's cheaper than probably going to the therapist. I don't. Sometimes. Maybe you could. It depends on what type of project you're doing.
Our buddy Cliff is here from Toledo.
Hi, Cliff. How you doing? Up north there. You probably had some
Cliff is here all the time
too. Yeah, we appreciate that. We appreciate you guys. But speaking, if you happen to follow the Facebook, and yesterday Nikki posted a pallet sign or pallet flag that she did. Whoops, I got it right here. That one. And she did this yesterday, and this is a real easy project, perfect for this time of year because we can put it up obviously for Memorial Day, and you can then transition into 4th of July, and you could even bring it back out for Veterans Day or just any kind of patriotic type holiday. But she did this. There's a real easy reel on Facebook, and is it on YouTube and I think TikTok and all those wonderful places you can find it. But she did this, and we've got this in a kit. She'll post that here at the end of today's live. But she started with we sell these unfinished wood little mini pallets. So kind of made like, pallets like, well, the paper mache doesn't come on a pallet, but like what merchandise and stuff comes on. And so we had these made in to a variety of shapes. We have them in a heart shape, which I believe you did a kit that made it in a carrot for the heart shape. Obviously, you could take the heart shape and paint it also as a flag. But we've got these in several different things. And so that reel is out there where you can do the kit for that. And make you a little make sure I got it not upside down.
There you go.
That's bad to put the flag upside down. But there, and you can create that real simple. I think it only took her a few minutes. She said the longest time it took was waiting for the paint to dry.
I was going to say probably waiting on paint to dry.
Which it's acrylic.
Hair dryer.
Which acrylic paint doesn't
anything
take.
water-based, hair dryer will dry
it does, and it doesn't take that long to do acrylic paints to dry.
Patricia, good morning to you as well.
Hi, Patricia.
We have another Patricia.
Oh,
not the same. Good morning to you both from Ohio.
I had a favorite aunt that was named Patricia. My Aunt Pat. And I always wondered, because you know how, like up east, they would, instead of saying, they'll say things that is an ah instead of an ah.
Yeah.
So I had a friend, and she would say things like that, and I said, well, she's not my aunt. Aunt Pot. So she say it's not your aunt, which we say here in the Midwest and down south.
Yeah.
But she'd say it was your aunt.
Your aunt.
I said, but she's not my Aunt Pot. So I'll stick with Aunt Pat. But
Amy, good morning to you as well.
Good morning. So last week.
Yes.
Was it last week?
Yeah.
Yes, I wasn't here, so that's why I did watch you guys though. I actually have a picture of you guys. I put you up on and watched you secretly. Watched the live kind of secretly. Because we were just sitting there waiting, so it wasn't like I was doing anything that was illegal or anything. But you were allowed to have your stuff as long as you weren't doing it.
Yeah.
When you're in the courtroom, obviously we can't be watching it live in the courtroom.
Yep. Yeah. So we actually had, I think it was Kat that asked for, who's here regularly. She'd asked to see some stuff that was bee related.
And I didn't realize how much bee
related.
We have a lot of bee related stuff. So we will post a link at the end. We're going to give you a little sneak preview. You can kind of see some of the stuff behind me. It's probably a little far away, but we do have quite a few bee things. We have bee garlands and bee picks. We even have what I thought was a great bee deco mesh for those old that's got the bee colors. Or these were actually our daughter and sons. Their school class was black and gold. So we could have made Centerville. We could have made Centerville school color things. We have bee ribbon, which is really super cute. We've got different ones. We've got one that's kind of honeybees with lemons. I guess there's enough sweetness in the lemon for the honeybees because they got to get. I guess they get it out of the blooms, the trees. And these little bumblebees here. We've got a little tiny one if you want to do hair bows and all those kinds of things. Like I said, there'll be a link that's just got all this fun stuff. Wait, here's another ribbon right here. Oh, that's just the wider. We also have that in a wider version. And I keep marking over the pallet signs, so I think I'll lay it down flat. And behind us, we've got some different bee ornaments, which these little bee ornaments, we sell a lot of these little ornaments. And a lot of our customers buy all these, there we go. A lot of our customers buy all these cute little ornaments. They're inexpensive. And you can put them on wreaths. You don't, you know, you can do all kinds of things with them, but a lot of wreath making going on with this. I love this one because he's even got the little wire with the little bee. I got him right side up. I think I got him upside down. There he goes. Where he's coming into the beehive. We've got the bigger bees back here. We've got bee picks. We have a bee sign that says "Be Happy." Another little pick up there. And of course, I thought that looked cute. And as always, I like to do my old things with the new flowers. We have a milking bench that I found, I guess, milking stool.
Was that a thrift store find?
No, I think I found it down at the flea market.
Oh, flea market?
For a couple dollars. And oh man, it's probably seen a lot of milking because
that thing is...
the bottom of the legs down here at the bottom, they are flat.
Like flat?
Just worn flat.
Yeah.
And then this was just adorable. I like this. So if you're doing fairy gardens or for flower arrangements, I gotta turn this around here. We have a little baby beehive. Isn't it cute? I just thought that was super cute. I think originally it was made for fairy gardens and stuff, but you could just do such cute things if you've got someone.
Trays.
Yeah, just all kinds of things you could do with that. And this is all painted, and because since it was designed for fairy gardens, it's got an all-weather, it was hand-painted with an all-weather paint. Super, super cute there. And what else we got? We got
cutouts.
Oh, we got cutouts.
Laser cut cutouts.
Cutouts for bees. We've got a couple different styles. I'm not sure which one I like. I like them both. They could be really fun to paint. You could paint, you could probably paint some of these up. Not maybe this one, but you could do ladybugs too.
Oh, yeah.
That would be super cute. What else we got? We got
I was going to say, I know we have some
big
picks.
bees here on this stem.
Oh, those are the chenille ones.
The chenille bees, let's see. Tell me, his wings are caught to the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can't tell, these are chenille stems or pipe cleaners wrapped around.
Wrapped around to make the bee.
Yeah.
But we can put him, he would be super cute on a wreath or in a flower arrangement, and then their wings are wired, so you can
bend them, shape them.
Some way you want them. So I thought those were super cute.
Yeah.
Look at their fun little face there. Go right in there and check it out. So you could play with, and of course their little antennae. There, isn't that the proper pronunciation? Antennae. Yeah, so you could do that and do those on.
Wants to know if we make those cutouts.
We actually don't make them here in the building, but these particular ones are made here in the USA. Because you can see kind of that burn around the edge, which I think it gives it really neat character. So anytime you see that, that's because it's been cut out with a laser cutout. And so these are made in the United States, and my gosh, we've got hundreds and hundreds of different ones of cutouts of just about any theme. If your kids have got a project, they're doing something for camps, Bible schools, which is all that stuff will be coming here, summer camps and stuff that'll be coming real quick. This particular bee was made in China, I believe, because this is once we're out of this one, which we had thousands and thousands, this was actually an old Derice item. So it was made in China. But once we're out of this one, we will switch it over and have it made here in the United States. So all our cutouts like this, now not everything we've got, but these cutouts, all these ones like that are all made here in the United States.
Yeah, and a lot of those will say made in the USA.
The ones should tell you.
Usually they'll have it in the description.
Usually, I won't say 100% of the time, because as we switched over and made in the United States, we didn't always remember to put that in there. Yeah. Because sometimes.
One of the things with having 40,000 items in stock is trying to keep up with all the info.
And then my favorite bee thing is a one-of-a-kind. Almost a Picasso. And this is the Aniston bee, for all of you that have been following along here for a couple weeks with Aniston and her journey down in Knoxville, the hospital and all that stuff. since we were doing bees, she wanted to do bees too, and we have. Don't you? I can see Picasso in there. I mean, this could be worth literally millions of dollars someday.
That'd be great.
Wouldn't that be great? That would pay for college and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But if you kind of look at it, you get the bee line going in there for a 3-year-old. Hey,
Hey, there you go.
you know, yeah, I love it. I love it. So I have all these pictures that the kids.
Yeah.
Sometime we'll tour my office, and I have all these pictures.
Yeah.
That of the kids, and I frame them and make a big deal out of them. So they put them, you know, I put them in there, and
Yeah.
I even have some of my sons from 30 years ago.
Yeah,
in there.
I think my wife has saved every
Oh, I haven't saved
everything, like a lot of the art stuff that kids have from when they were little and all
exactly.
that. Amy, yes, we will have links to all of these items.
All the items. We'll
Nikki will post those after the video's done.
Yeah, or if there's anything else you're looking for,
let us know.
Let us know. That's what we're here for. So, like I said, last week somebody mentioned bees, and I did. I was like, oh, look at that cute little Be Happy sign.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't decide what I was going to do because I usually the guys did the one last week. I wasn't here. And they did an okay job with putting
We
background.
were told it was okay.
I told them they did a good job with the live, but I wasn't real crazy.
I didn't know where any of Sherry's
props. There's a room
flea
full
market
of-
finds
they're
were.
down in
so-
photography.
Oh,
There's
they're down in the prop room?
upstairs. They're in the prop room
Oh,
down
I
there,
didn't-
or
I
they're
didn't know.
also there's another prop
I didn't know
room
that's where you
upstairs.
kept them.
I have too much of
Hey,
this
I
stuff.
think it's pretty good for 2 guys.
I thought they did pretty good for 2 guys. We'll let them.
I
know.
did the best I
But,
could with what I had.
We've talked about dead stock, and
Mm-hmm.
these you'll see the wreaths. I put them back here on that little fake window back there, and I don't remember where I found that. Somewhere, probably the flea market. I like to go to the flea market or thrift stores, garage sales, whatever, and pick up stuff. One day we were coming home from work, and I've got I shall have to bring that one set of shutters in, and they were literally the people had put them out for the trash, and I'm yelling, stop. So I'm sure some of you out there have done that too. Yeah, but this little wreath, I know you see it online and you're thinking, oh, it's just a little wreath. But the quality, because there is no way they would make anything with this kind of quality. Look at the back of this wreath, which we do have a picture for where this item is. It has got the grapevine, but this is, I don't know if you can tell, this has all got a wire base in here.
Steel wreath form.
Really heavy gauge. And these would be adorable. Obviously, you could they're small, but you could do them for Memorial Day. You could do them for anything like that. They would be really cute to hang on the back of the chairs. How they do that when they decorate that. Yeah, I know you're doing a lot of decorating, but
Yeah.
maybe Lisa's doing it.
Lisa's doing all the decorating.
But these are super cute, and there's so much greenery on there. I mean, there is not bare spaces, and yeah, super cute. Real excited when we found these, and we had literally almost a semi-load of these when we first got them. Hey, look there, I can frame myself. Isn't that cool? And but there's only like about 900 of them left. I think, not tons and tons left.
Let's see.
Gina says she wants a butterfly.
Yeah,
bed.
butterflies. We need butterflies.
We got a lot of butterflies.
Yeah.
All you have to do is go to factorydirect.com, and up there where the search bar is, I would say if you typed in butterfly, you would be just like what. That's all I did when I did the bees.
Yeah,
I just typed in bee in the
but
search engine.
but we can grab some butterfly stuff for next week.
Next week we'll bring some butterflies in. Nikki did a really cute project. Maybe you can put the link into that where she did a wreath and then put butterflies around it. And but we've got monarch butterflies, and I don't know all my species of butterflies, but we've got a monarch in any color that you can want. There is a couple artists that buy butterflies from us where they'll buy for art museums and stuff, and then they'll put in these big, massive displays of butterflies.
I have a customer that one of my first big sales here, I sold like 40,000 monarch butterflies.
Yeah, crazy.
That was part of a big art installation.
They do this. There's one that she moves from different art museums, so we'll ship them into the different art museums around the country. Pretty cool.
Yep. Let's see. Mac wanted to know any Cricut supplies. I don't believe so.
Crickets.
That was Cricut, like the cutting machines and vinyl and all that.
No.
We
We're
had
not.
gotten all that through Doris, was our
Used
supplier
to,
for that.
yeah.
But when they went out of business,
Yeah.
we kind of lost our
Yeah, we
supplier
don't
for
have
that
a lot of Cricut supplies, or there are things you can use for scrapbooking. A lot of the items that we have. But that's not really our specialty. What we specialize in, we have a lot of paper mache. We're the largest importer of paper mache in the United States, and we've got it in any kind of size box and shape. And those things are amazing for gift boxes and things like that, tooth fairy boxes, boxes of all kinds
candy
of stuff.
Boxes
And the
hat
neat thing
boxes
about those is they are actually made with recycled, just like when you made paper mache when you were a kid, recycled paper mache pulp. So the boxes, you can give the gift, and then the recipient can actually, in its natural color without painting it or anything, it's got that warm texture, you just can see the flecks in there. And it's just really, they make great gift boxes, and you don't have to fold them, you don't have to do anything. They'll come to you just complete. Or if there's a specific item, I know we had a customer reach out to us this week and wanted a specific paper mache item. And we looked into having them made, so I believe they're going to be made. We'll let you know as we get closer to that they're going to be made. So if there's some specific size, we also had a company that reached out that sold a small product, and they want their product to look more upscale. I think they sell on Etsy and such. So we got them. They sent the sample of the item that they had. So, they sent the little item along. And then we went and found and sent them pictures of different sizes of the boxes that we thought would work with their item. And so that's also in the process now. But we can do anything.
We can get pretty much anything made, provided that the order minimums aren't crazy. Unless you need crazy, in which case we can absolutely do that. And then obviously time, because anytime there's a new item, whether it's paper mache, it's a cutout, molds have to be made, there's an approval process. We always want to see actual production samples before we would feel comfortable sending you an item and you investing money in it. But if there's anything, especially paper mache, wood cutouts, things like that you're looking for.
Wood cutouts are easy since these are made in the United States. If you've got an idea, and I'm not sure what the minimum is, but reach out to us.
Yeah, it varies based on
if
the
you
item.
have, like a sorority or something, and you want a specific thing cut out. Now I'm sure there will be a minimum, and we can we could work that out at the time. But we can, these are easy. That we can do those.
Especially the laser cutouts are.
The laser cutouts
they
we can
knock
do
them out
about
real quick.
anything if you've got an idea or something like that.
So here's something off topic, but we need some help with.
What's that?
We have a goose problem.
Oh, do we ever have a goose problem?
We have a couple of geese that are hanging around the parking lot, doing business all over the walkway.
Lots of business.
We hear them on the roof. Garrett and I actually went up on the roof of the building last week to make sure there wasn't a nest. We found where they had been up there a lot. I can hear them above my office walking around. We have verified they don't have a nest, at least on our property.
Yeah, we can't find one, not yet.
But we're trying to figure out if you guys have any ideas of how to get rid of Canadian geese. Like get them to just go away and stay on someone else's property. Let us know in the comments whether you're watching now,
beautiful.
Whether you're on replay. Yes, but they're annoying and they make
every
a mess.
And, we clean the sidewalk every morning, but it's became some mornings, I guess, if they're more prolific in their duties.
Yeah.
You kind of have to zigzag to get into work till we get out and get that all cleaned off, because it's like, oh my gosh. So if you guys out there have a Canadian goose problem, and then there's something, I looked online and I just really couldn't find tons of stuff. I mean, I know there's services where the dog will come out, but we only have 2. But man, or there's got to be almost more than 2. But I saw them on the road. I only ever
see 2 though.
Yeah, I only see the couple out there, and I have seen them across the street at the business across the street. They have a ditch, which we don't have here, so they go over there for water. But I don't know. Has anybody got an idea on how do you work? Because they migrated. When my research, I found out that there were not Canadian geese in this area till like 1970. Yeah. And I guess they started migrating from Canada, I guess. That's why they're Canadian geese. And they must have decided, okay, well, this is a good place to hang out because, oh, my God, there are just everywhere around here. And it definitely is a problem. So if anyone has any idea, we definitely would be better than having to power wash the...
Eugenia says, like skunk juice or any deer juice. Deer juice. I know what she's talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Like the deer repellent spray and all that kind of stuff.
Now, hey, we'll let you know if we...
Well, yeah, that's... We have a
I'm
Walmart
sure
a minute
we
from
ha-
here.
yeah,
so.
we do, or we can get it on Amazon or someplace and get it in here, and we'll definitely try something.
Yeah.
Because they're beautiful. We enjoy looking at them. It looks so pretty. We've got
Mm-hmm.
bulbs and things out front, so we always have a lot of flowers and different
Yeah.
things going out front of the warehouse. But the geese, yeah.
Neva said, this was when you were showing the Anderson picture. She said, I have a picture of a coffee mug that my daughter drew when she was 5. Now my kitchen is, now she's not in her kitchen. She has a coffee theme. Love my coffee.
Ah, yes. Well, tea, but hey.
I can't function without at least 2 cups of coffee, which probably isn't a good thing. But
I was watching a live last night, and the guy was wanting to know if people would do coffee flavored water, since coffee's bad for you.
Yeah.
So you have strawberry flavored water, watermelon flavored water, and his question to the people out there. So hey, if you guys think that's I don't know whether he was going to invent it or not. I'm just flipping through watching whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, since I don't like coffee, it really didn't affect me. I don't think tea flavored water, because technically tea is flavored water.
flavored water. Water in a tea bag.
Yes, exactly.
Megla's Cottage says, hi from California. I just found you today. Welcome. Glad you found us.
We love
here.
it.
We're here every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern
10
Time.
a.m. Just we want to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah.
We want to tell you what happened here this week. Which, oh my God, this week it was like Monday, and then like today it's Thursday, and I was like, how did that happen? But anyways, it is what it is, and so we're always
busy.
running. We need to do a behind the scenes when we're running around, getting ready for this and trying to get all the projects and things together. We wanted this kit, the kit of the flag that Nikki did yesterday, so that is on the website now live, where you can buy just the kit, and that way you'll just get the things to make the pallet flag and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Kathy, good morning to you as well.
Good morning,
Good
Kathy.
morning. Oh, let's see here. Mother's Day. Anyone got any last minute Mother's Day gift ideas? I know Garrett and I asked last week.
Received in the past.
What they received.
Yeah. What's the best and or worst
there you go.
Mother's Day gift you've ever gotten? Leave that in the comments.
Oh yeah, because I don't know. I don't know what was the. It's really nice. The kids are always really good, and they send a gift, and they send flowers or something, and that's sweet and thoughtful. But then I look at them and think, oh my gosh, they're gonna wilt. They're gonna, and then I look at it, and so that's the advantage of artificial flowers. At least they will last.
I always just ask my wife, like, what do you want?
But that's not a surprise.
No, I know, but I
know you're one of those.
Past the.
But she still wants.
I generally will
hey,
try.
Ladies,
I will try to find. I will usually get one surprise gift, and then the rest is. Sometimes they'll just be like.
I think breakfast in bed would probably.
Oh, well, that's always. There's always.
I never had breakfast.
Yeah, no. Me and the kids always we make her breakfast and let her sleep in.
But
like this year, she had some planter boxes I built 10 years ago on the fence for strawberries and stuff, and they started to fall apart. So she said, for Mother's Day, she goes, I want you and Aiden to build new planter boxes. So
that sounds like a good project.
Good opportunity. My son's 15 and a half. Good opportunity. He's learning how to use a circular saw
So it doesn't come in looking like this.
Yeah, so Aiden and I are building boxes right now.
Oh, I heard you had a big event yesterday.
Yeah, my son got his temps, so I don't know that I'm ready for one of my kids to be driving, even though it'll be like me or Lisa in the car with him. But if you have any advice on how to stay sane,
hang on for dear life
when your kids are finally getting behind the wheel.
Gosh, that's been a while. I don't know that I can remember a lot when the kids learn to drive. I just
stay. If you're in Southwest Ohio, because Amy, you were asking where we're located. Amy just asked where we're located. We're in Springboro, Ohio. It's about halfway between Dayton and Cincinnati. If you're in this area, because I live in this area, just stay off the roads for. The next 5 to
6 months,
70 years, like this. Assume my son is driving, and
usually we tell at the beginning where we're located. Yeah. So, bye.
Bye, Eugenia. Thanks for joining us. Tune in next week. We'll have some butterflies to show you.
You'll get some butterflies. No, we are located 38 miles from where the Ohio River.
Yeah, Kentucky. North of the river.
Our building is at exit 38 off of I-75. We're not open to the public, but. We talked about doing a tour, and I know a couple, if you're in the area,
We can show you around.
We can show you around if you're going to happen to be going up and down 75. Kind of a busy street out there, and shoot us an email, and we'd be glad to meet you in person and take you a little walk around. But we're not set up for any kind of retail. That's what I said a couple weeks ago. It'd be very boring. It's nothing out there with brown boxes with barcodes. And I did notice that on the paper mache they put fragile on every
box.
Box.
That's the first time they've done that.
They've never done that, and I was like, "What is that?" I said, "What is this item we've got?" Fragile on there. Fragile.
It's Italian.
This was, and I thought, "What is all this stuff we've got that's fragile that's come in?" And then I realized it was paper mache, which usually isn't fragile, but they must have.
Yeah, and I thought
must have
it
had
was
a new
ironic because seeing the way they packed the container, they didn't.
Yes.
Love our vendor. They didn't necessarily pay attention to the fragile stickers the way they packed it sometimes.
Maybe I don't know.
But I would rather it say it than not.
I get it's big red. It was definitely. I was going down the aisle in the warehouse.
Maglet's Cottage says that her best gift was my son made me a popsicle stick frame with their picture.
Yes.
I do.
My kids did that when they were young too.
I have a lot of little pictures and I save frame. When I go to the thrift stores.
Yeah.
I mean, I do pick up frames because I have some beautiful frames that I picked up or at the thrift store or at the flea market or something, and for a few dollars. And even if they're not necessarily your vibe, you can put some paint on them and stuff. And then I just have a box that I keep those frames, and then when the kids come in, I frame them. And
Bonnie said, "Be patient." Bonnie, I'm going to try. We're talking about the same kid that shattered the outer glass in our oven making mozzarella sticks last week. So,
excuse me?
Oh,
How did
yeah.
that happen?
Oh, yeah. Here, I'll see if you guys can see this. So, this is my son's Instagram post last week. We heard a shatter, and it says, "Oops, just trying to make mozzarella sticks."
How do you?
We don't know how it happened. He claims he just went to open the oven and the glass just blew out.
Broke,
Maybe because I know with
what temperature did he have it at?
1,000.
I know it can happen if there's like a quick temperature change. Because my mom's sunroof in her car shattered one day driving down the road. And we don't know.
Barometric pressure will do that. But I don't think we
know.
Had that much around here.
We heard this big shatter. And we were outside, and one of my wife's coworkers, who was one of her friends, was over eating dinner with us. And we're outside, and we hear all this shatter. Yeah. And we thought the dog was getting into something.
Can you replace that, I assume?
I replaced it last night.
Oh, you already
fortunately,
replaced it.
It took about 10 minutes, thank God.
Good.
But we've been ovenless for last week. But so, Bonnie, I'm going to try, but that kind of... Yeah, that's what I'm working with. So I'm kidding. He's a super smart kid. I'm not terribly worried. I've actually gotten him into the parking lot a couple times, even pre-temps. Just
do you know right over here by Bob Evans, right beside our building, is where the driving training schools bring people and test them. Did you know that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
They have all the cones out there, and I think they leave it out there all the time. Yeah. So you can go over there and do.
Yeah, he can.
I don't know who owns that parking lot.
Practice driving with the cones.
Yeah, they're usually.
Cottage says she wants to know.
Wants to know our names. This is Sherry.
Hi.
I'm Brian.
Hi.
So, like I said,
Sherry, and I, my name's spelled a little different than most Sherrys. My mother named me because some people have asked if you're older like me, Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop, which was a puppet thing back in those, but that is not. My mother read in a movie magazine that Harry Belafonte had a daughter, and the daughter's name is Sherry, so that's who I am named after, Sherry Belafonte. So
I did not know
she's just a little bit older than me. I think a few weeks older or something. Yeah.
Looks like Scott's watching. Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Scott Oxing's watching. Scott, I'll be coming to you for advice because I know your
your
boy's got his license now. Cooper's got his actual license, but I'm going to need some advice on how to get through these
I don't know what the advice is and that. When the kids got to be teenagers.
Bonnie's right. I just need to just be patient.
Be patient,
it's a new thing he's
learning.
Well,
and he's your oldest, and this is what I told our oldest. I've never done this before. And
I've never had to teach someone to drive.
I've never done this before, so we're going to learn together. It's not the driving.
I
had drive, but I'm just talking
teaching
about
my wife
anything.
to drive stick. That didn't.
Oh yeah, I did that. I did that with our daughter. I taught her to drive stick.
But
we had this little
I struggled with it, but then she got in the car with one of her uncles, and before you knew it, she'd been.
It's really. I don't know that kids learn that so much. Are you going to teach your son to drive a stick?
We don't have a car with stick right now, anyway. So.
But that really is.
I think it's important to learn.
It is important to learn. I guess I haven't drove one for a while, but I used to drive.
If you're ever out, if he's ever out
like
with
on the tree. on the column
Yeah, I
stuff?
have, yeah.
Dad used to have a pickup truck like
Yeah.
that, and I would drive it to school, so I had obviously.
Yeah,
get
I think
back
it's
and forth
important to
school.
know if you're on a road trip with someone or something, they need to take over driving.
It just makes you. I think it's gives you confidence.
Oh, if you can drive
Because
stick, you
if
can
your
drive anything.
buddies can't drive it and he can, and,
Yeah.
and there's
Oh, yeah.
a car, and
Yep.
he can impress
Big
the
time.
girls that way.
Let's see, you got some more check-ins. Tracy is back. Tracy was here last week as
Hi,
well.
Tracy.
Tracy's up in Alaska.
Yes, we love Tracy. I loved Alaska. We went up several years ago. Gorgeous up there, just absolutely gorgeous.
Faye.
Yep.
Say
Good morning,
hello.
Faye. Melissa, hello from Ligonier, Pennsylvania.
If anybody, again, if you've got any questions about anything, we're not just here for you to listen to us chat about Skyline Chili and driver's license and little bee things, but we're here to answer questions about the company, answer questions about ourselves. I've been in business, in the craft supply business now for almost 40 years, so I've got lots of experience with that. So, lots of experience with obviously running a business, and which many of you I know are running different businesses, whether it be on Etsy or you're doing craft fairs or all those kind of things. I've done all that. And
Yeah.
I think we have done every single form of advertising, including billboards and magazines and back in the day newspapers and all that kind of stuff. The only thing we haven't done, I don't think, is TV advertising.
Yeah. Tracy said it's snowing in Alaska again.
Oh, but it's so beautiful. You
Yeah.
know, I do. It's peaceful. I think the snow. I looked last week when I had time, and I was like, wow, everything got so green all of a sudden.
Yeah, I know.
Here it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
In fact, my husband is out front of the building this morning cutting the grass.
I saw him weeding.
We have about 8 acres here at the warehouse, and so it takes him most of the day. And he looked at the weather and he saw it wasn't going. We cut our own grass. We do all those things so that we don't have to increase our prices. We're able to offer you the best price and do the things that a small company offer you, the services that a small
Anything
company
we can do
can.
in-house saves us money, which
ultimately
saves you guys money.
Yes, exactly. So, but you can, like I said, we're here in the United States, obviously, and we love our customers. We've got, I was looking at some of the orders last week. I look at a lot of orders, and if you leave a comment on an order, I'm going to read it.
Yeah, we read every single one.
We read every single comment. If it's a thanks, if it's all kinds of comments people leave. Some are funny, some are like don't make sense, but we're trying to figure them out if we can, and we'll write you back if you got a question about a product or anything, along with the live chat that we have that's on here during the week. We're happy to answer your question and not robots.
Our live chat is live.
Live chat's
Like
really
if
live
you
people.
go to live chat, you're either going to get me, you're going to get Nikki, who's sitting behind his
Across
computer,
from us,
or you're going to get Deneen, who, by the way, said driving stick is more fun.
Yes, Deneen learned to drive.
I agree.
Stick. She did. We had a little truck, and there used to be this bagel place, and it had a little hill.
Yeah.
So we would go get our bagels on the weekend, and we went, which they're not there anymore, which they had they had the best bagels. But anyhow, and the little hill, so she's very confident. She's really got the stick down until she went to go up the hill. Of course, the people behind us are not being patient. They're honking the horn, and she's crying. And that's
Actually,
all
Garrett taught me to drive stick.
Oh, really? That's cool.
I was driving with him back from Vermont. This was back when he had that. He had that like 500 horsepower red Subaru WRX.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
With the race transmission, and that's what I learned to drive stick in. So I'm like, if I can drive stick in that, I can drive stick in anything. Faye, watching from Australia.
Oh, hi, Faye. Good day.
Other side of the world. Tracy, want to know, how do we ship to Alaska flat rate? We can offer ground services as well as next day or second day air to Alaska.
Our rates to Alaska, Puerto Rico, any U.S. territories
Still
are the
$7.95
same rate.
if it's under $50,
yeah,
or
whether
free
you're
for over $50.
If your order's over $50, it's going to ship to you free to Alaska.
Yeah.
Probably will go postal. Obviously, it's not going to go as quick as it would if we shipped it UPS, but that cost us exorbitant. But we have always offered our U.S. territories. So if you're in Guam, we can ship to you for free. Same standard shipping. Puerto Rico, Hawaii. I personally deliver all those packages. No, really.
Would that be nice?
In February.
Meglin's College want to know, is your company, are your products for the small-time crafter? Our products are for anyone.
Anybody.
We're not, wholesaler to, we have a wholesale program, but we're a small family-owned online retail store. Anyone can order from us. We don't have piece minimum.
We don't have a minimum on pieces. We don't have, unless it's a package of something, so you get a package of little stars or something, that would be, you wouldn't be able to have one tiny little star. But no, you only have to order one of an item. We don't have a minimum on what you have to place as far as an order. It is obviously to your benefit if you place the order and it's over $50, because then you're going to get free shipping. And oh my God, we have struggled with that free shipping, because free shipping is free to you, but it's not free to us. And every single year, UPS, USPS, FedEx, all of them raise the pricing, and we sit and look at that, and we have really struggled.
For perspective, even with the flat rate $7.95 shipping right now.
Oh my gosh, our average
shipping cost per package is just under $13.
Yeah, exactly.
By the time you add in the cost of the box, packing materials, and then the actual shipping rates, which
so that's what it costs us. It is insane. The rates are insane, and of course that's not just when you're buying from us. That's when you're buying from anybody. So they don't make it easy, all the shipping companies. But we try to negotiate again and get every savings we can. So that's why my husband's out cutting the grass.
Yeah.
So we can offer you free shipping at $50.
Melissa said, your company is awesome. One of my packages got misplaced by the delivery company. You guys sent a replacement promptly. Good products. Good customer service. Glad to hear that, Melissa. Glad you got your package.
Thank you for that glowing. That's all. That's really, at the end of the day, there's a video that Fran, who one of our longtime employees said, she said at the end of the day, who did we make happy today?
Yeah, 100%.
Shouldn't cry about that. But if I didn't cry, it wouldn't be live.
You care about the customer.
I do. We really do. We really do. We care.
Without customers, we don't have a business. So
that is absolutely true. I asked employees one time. This has been years ago. Who writes your paycheck? Who signs your paycheck? And of course, they all said, "You do." No. You do. The customer signs their paycheck.
Yeah.
The customer. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Christine, hi from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Pennsylvania.
Linda said, hey there, good morning.
Close.
Got my order and love it all. Always glad to hear that. That's what we shoot for.
That's what we aim for. But if we do make a mistake,
let us know, please.
Let us know. We'll learn. Things happen. A product may occasionally, you've got a product that's close an item number, which it's all done by computer, and it's all scanned, but I don't know how they do it. But occasionally there'll be a box that's been misstocked or something.
Yeah.
So when you let us know something, or you let us know that there's a product that's not quite what you've got in mind, we physically go out in the warehouse, look at that item, inspect that item.
Those paints I had on my desk the other day, you asked me about them. I had a customer that said, I ordered the confetti colored paint, and I got green. And I looked, and I thought, well, maybe it was misstocked or something. I looked, and the case from the manufacturer, the green bottles were in inner packages that said confetti.
Yes, so the package.
So when we scan and put the box away, we put it in the right place based off what the manufacturer had on the packaging. Yeah. They did it wrong, so we'll get that fixed.
Yeah,
we're able to send out a replacement.
They were sealed up and bubble wrapped.
Yeah,
so
it's
they were
not literally
like we're
labeled wrong
apart.
at the factory.
Yeah, we're not going to tear it apart, because that's obviously the best way for us to ship it to you. But we've had that a few times. I know that's been quite a few years ago. We had some kind of paint where the outside of the box said it was like red, and the cans themselves said they were red. But when you sprayed it, it was a different color.
It was a different color.
So that's just a and obviously we're not going to open up every can and spray here. Let's test all this spray paint. And but as soon as you notify us, we make it right.
We'll make it right.
And we also go back to the manufacturer, because a lot of times they don't know that they made a mistake.
And they'll work with us on that
Yeah, they'll work with us, and we'll work with you. We're glad to do that.
Meglis Cottage said, happy to find you. Going to visit your website.
Thank you.
Great.
Hey,
Please do.
Thank you
Again,
very much.
Let us know if you have any questions, anything you're looking for. Janice, hello from Lucedale, Mississippi.
Wow. I don't know where that is, but sounds down south.
And then we got Denise watching from Saskatchewan, Canada.
Hey, Canada.
All right, we're running up on almost 45 minutes. You want a couple questions?
Yeah, let's do a couple questions.
We're doing favorites today.
Favorites. Ooh.
This could be all-time or current favorite TV show.
Ooh, favorite TV show. Gosh, can I pass, and then I'll come back to that one?
All right, favorite movie.
Favorite.
Give an all-time favorite movie.
I kind of like Cool Hand Luke, and I think that's just because that's a good one. Because just because, oh my gosh, you got to look at those eyes. And if you haven't watched Cool Hand Luke, I believe it is on Netflix or one. If you can print it, you find it somewhere out there for you guys that are younger, and it is just a fun, fun movie, shaking them down, boss, or something like that. You guys watch the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Never seen it.
You've never watched Cool
Hand
Hand
Luke?
Luke? What is wrong with you?
It's
Oh
a
my
classic,
gosh, that's
Nikki.
a classic.
All right,
You've
I'll
got
watch
to
it.
watch that.
Well, now that I see it's on the cover.
Yes, exactly. You've got to watch Cool Hand Luke. So, hey, ladies, everybody out there, tell her it's not just about the movie that you're watching.
Favorite book?
Favorite book? Oh my gosh, there's so many books. When I was starting the business, I did not go to business college.
Right.
So that was pre-internet. I went to the library.
I went to the library?
I went to the library, and honestly, the librarian knew me. I read every single business book that was out there, and some of them are actually very interesting. If you're in business, Tulip Mania was a really interesting book. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've never heard that. Heard of that one.
Okay, Tulip Mania happened in the 1500s because I like history too, and it was where tulip bulbs, people kind of like Beanie Babies.
Okay.
I
When they got-
Beanie
yeah, I remember
Okay,
Beanie
because
Babies,
everybody
yeah.
was going to buy Beanie Babies, and they were going to retire and live off Beanie Babies. They bought tulip bulbs, and it's such an interesting book because it talks about how the things that we do now. But think when the stock prices started dropping,
Yeah.
and they couldn't just look online, or even if you get back to the newspaper and stuff. So people were doing all this thing with tulip bulbs, and yeah, it's a crazy book. Probably
Interesting.
not your average. I wouldn't think the average person out there would find it, but it really was fascinating to me.
Did you think of a favorite TV show?
Oh, I don't know. I like Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed?
Why not? Because you got a talking
horse.
I don't know. The old ones, Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah.
I have the grandkids, and you can watch all those on YouTube
Oh, yeah.
and stuff. And I sometimes, or what is it, TV Land? There's one of those that plays all those old classics, and those are fun. Mayberry and all that stuff way before you guys. But yeah. Even I was just a little kid, but yeah, just a little kid.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll about do it for today.
That'll about do it, yeah.
So thank you everyone for joining us. Tell your friends. If you're watching us on replay, thank you for that.
Hey, yeah, if you leave a comment on replay, if you've got a question, we'll answer you still. We monitor all that. If you've got ideas for butterflies, we'll definitely do something with that next week, or anything else. Hey, we're here for you. That's what our job is, because you sign our paychecks.
That's it.
Right?
See you next week, guys. Have a good weekend.
Bye.